I'm CJ.
I'm Kevin, and you're watching Laketoria Nights, a show where two cousins talk about entertainment stuff like movies, TV shows, video games, and everything in between. Today, we're going to be talking about our favorite video games that need releases, reboots, maybe like a nice finish on the games, just a re-release. We just want our games to have the release, a remaster. Thank you. Andy's here today as well, in case you haven't heard. So,
Kevin has trouble with words.
sometimes. Remaster was the word. Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about, but before we get to that point where we talk about releases or remasters, I want to say a re-release. Doesn't that sound better?
Well, here's the thing, Kevin.
I don't know.
If all they do is a re-release of it and it's not a true remaster, they're not updating any graphics, they're not fixing any potential bugs in the coding, and all you're basically getting is a backwards compatible version of a new game in this case.
Okay, fine. Then I guess we want remasters then. Wait, I got to change my list up. No, no.
I just want
Anyway.
these games in print again. They cost so much on eBay.
Either way, but before we go into
I'll
that,
tell you one thing, Kev. Based off your
What?
list, because I know ahead of time,
yeah.
if one of those games was just a re-release, I'd punch you in the face. Because it
What?
definitely isn't worth playing as a re-release. And I'll make that comment
Anyway.
when you announce your list. I'll tell you which one.
Before we get into that, why don't we catch up? What did you do this weekend, CJ?
It's been a pretty busy weekend. As you know, the Super Bowl is on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um,
Yay, go Eagles!
Really go Eagles if they already won.
Woo! Eagles were the champions!
Spoiling anything for anybody.
I guess that's true. We're
I
in
don't know
the
what's
future.
more,
Everyone
I don't
has
know what's
watched-
more annoying, your celebration or the guy that wakes up in the morning and his car's flipped over. Anyway.
Reno Wolves, yeah, flipping cars.
It had a nice little Super Bowl party, food, family, and I got reacquainted with the TV show Cougar Town. So many Scrubs appearances did my heart some good. I'm on season 3 right now. Check out Cougar Town. It's only on Hulu.
How many seasons of Cougar Town is there?
6. I'm on season 3 right now. So yeah, 6.
That many?
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch.
I like how CJ pitches a different service every episode that we're not getting paid to talk about.
Well, he's allowed
This
to
is
do
how
that. Well, you
This
can
is
do
how
that.
We get paid. They hear us and they're like, "Oh, you know what? That cool guy.
See,
He likes our
no,
service."
we're going the
Cut
wrong
check.
way about this. In order for us to do that, we should be aiming for Netflix or Hulu. If we're gonna do all this Hulu stuff, we go, well, Netflix, this could be you. If you do something that way, we could say something bad about Hulu for you. But instead, we're doing all this free stuff for Hulu. So why would they give us money? We should be aiming for Netflix.
That's right, Netflix.
If you're listening, Netflix.
You pay me Netflix, I'll watch that Cloverfield thing that you got going there. Looks interesting, but it doesn't look like I have the time to watch it.
Well, I've
Also,
actually.
I have a bone to pick with Netflix. You know they're taking Family Guy off Netflix this month?
Yeah, February 14th, last day.
That's so awful.
Yeah, but it's all going to be on Hulu anyway. And at first I used to be all whatever about having Hulu shows there, but I'm rewatching How I Met Your Mother on Hulu, and they don't have nearly as many commercials on the old stuff as they do on the new things. If you're watching something fairly old, it's almost as if you're watching it on Netflix anyway. So I'm not all that worried about Family Guy being taken off Netflix because it's still on Hulu.
Funny thing about Cougar Town, Ted from Scrubs
Yeah.
is in an episode as Ted.
That's perfect.
Is he a lawyer?
He's running away from his breakup with Gooch.
No! Why?
I don't want to spoil it. You gotta watch it.
What?
But
Tell me now.
It was a nice little Apparently, him and Gooch wanted totally different things, and he ran away to Hawaii. And it ties in with the storyline of what's going on at the time in Cougar Town. And another thing that tells you that Scrubs and Cougar Town shares a universe, the place where they get coffee on Cougar Town is Coffee Bucks. The same coffee place that was in the hospital at the end of Scrubs.
Wait, does Bill Lawrence write for Cougar Town?
Yeah, it's his show.
Oh, I was
His
not aware.
wife stars in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And everyone makes a cameo. The guy, Ken Jenkins, the guy that plays Dr. Kelso,
Yeah.
he plays Courtney Cox's father in Cougar Town.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wait, but is he still Kelso, or is he just a different character?
He's just a different character. The only one that I've seen that has come from Scrubs and was the same character on Scrubs was Ted, and it was hilarious.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Did he do any acapella?
He did a lot of singing. He did a lot
Good.
of playing guitar and a lot of singing. He said his talent is making any song seem sad. Which is his favorite Ted thing.
That's perfect.
It was awesome. But yeah, my weekend was really good. Good Super Bowl game. Congratulations to the Eagles. Unfortunately, as a Broncos fan, I only recognize Super Bowls that the Denver Broncos win. So currently, I'm on Super Bowl 4, waiting for it to happen. But how was your weekend, Kevin?
Yeah. Well, I should say it was awesome, but that happened on Sunday. So prior to that Sunday, I went to a banquet. I got a speeding ticket. That Saturday, I just kind of, I don't know, I didn't do any. No, I played Final Fantasy 15 for most of that day, actually. I think that's what I did for most of that time until Super Bowl. And then I ate food. Eagles won. And I was like, yay. And I jumped around. I took more food home. And then I kind of like fell asleep somewhere. I wasn't even drunk or anything. I just drank a whole bunch of Sprite. And every time I burped, the taste of pork kept coming back up because I ate a lot of ribs before the game even started. And yeah, I had like 4 cupcakes. I mean, I ate really bad Sunday. I guess the main thing I did like about the whole Super Bowl was, I guess, the commercials. But I guess that's what you always like. Now that I think about it, the commercials were kind of weak this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think what it is like in today's day and age where everyone is trying to make like a public statement and everyone has a cause. In previous years where commercials were edgy, I think this year, because of like the atmosphere that we're in media wise, everyone's afraid to be edgy.
Yeah, they were being a little more conservative.
Well, that and the whole thing is they released all the commercials before the Super Bowl happened.
Yeah.
Which kind of bugged me a little bit because the Bud Knight thing, we actually saw like the
The
whole
day
thing before it even showed, and they aired it, and I'm like, well, this probably would have been cool if this was the first time of us seeing it. And the whole, what was it, Doritos and Mountain Dew Ice, that thing was pretty cool, but I remember seeing that on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I got to see what this is all about. Then I found out, oh, this is a Super Bowl ad. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, the
Ruined
ads were
that
kind
for
of
me.
weak. The halftime show
it
was
was fun.
so. I think the main event of the Super Bowl was when Brandon Cooks, the receiver for the Patriots, got murdered on the field.
Yo.
Ooh.
When he got
wait,
was it
what
the one-
happened to him?
Was it the one when?
Because
when
that's the
he just
guy. He got
destroyed?
blindsided, or not
Yeah,
blindsided,
okay.
but it was like helmet to helmet. He got knocked down. I'm like, he's not moving.
My other
He didn't
favorite, one was when I forget who it was on the Eagles power bombed that one.
Oh, we tried to
Patriots
jump
player
over him when he
tried to
caught him.
jump
He's like,
over.
oh.
I do have a question for you though, Kev. 'Cause
Yeah.
Did you watch the game with Billy?
Yeah, I watched the game with Billy.
Now he's a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
And Andy, you're a Cowboys fan.
Correct.
After that running back who ran out the backfield and caught the ball in the back of the end zone and bobbled it, did Des Bryant catch that ball a few years ago?
I can't remember.
That's the catch that every Cowboys fan talks about all the time. I don't.
When Des Bryant bobbled the ball and made a football play against the Packers and was called incomplete, all I could see when the Eagles had that touchdown, I'm like, well, if that's a catch, y'all need to give Des Bryant them points from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, there were a lot of like almost like quasi controversial calls that had to be made. There was that one. There was the what was the other big one?
The Zach Ertz touchdown.
Yeah, the 3-step thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were
I
trying to.
think what's weird is I think it's because it's the Patriots. I feel like if a call went the Patriots' way, the
Everyone
league was
would've
going to get
freaked out.
crucified for it because
Yeah.
the perception of the Patriots is that they're cheaters. My whole thing to that is the whole thing with Deflategate. The guy who caught the interception and everyone said he blew the whistle, he came out in an interview and said he never said anything about the balls being deflated and he didn't know that the ball was deflated, which is weird. And that the investigators never contacted him. And then the whole thing with Spygate, what the NFL forgets to tell everyone about that story, is that 32 teams were caught spying. The Patriots took the fall for it. Every team was caught spying, and a memo went out saying, if you want to record practices, you can't record on ground level. And then the Patriots got blown
fined
the
for
whistle
it.
on for recording at ground level prior to the memo coming out. But since the Patriots got caught and it became public, or before it wasn't public,
Yeah.
the Patriots,
They were
fell on
the
sword
whipping
for it.
boy for the league.
Exactly. So I was like, everyone says the Patriots are cheaters. I'm like, I don't really see it that way. I see the common perception of it, but if you dig deeper on the stories, it's kind of like, all right, so there's 32 teams that cheat, and the Patriots fell on the sword for it.
The only one who wasn't was the Browns, because
Hey, you leave the Browns out of this.
They're not smart enough to
Well,
cheat.
here's the thing: everyone was recording in HD, and the Browns had someone
Had a
trolling
potato.
pictures.
They had a potato with a camera on.
They're not poor. They're just a bad team.
They had a guy with a
There's a
curly.
difference.
They had a guy with a curly mustache and
Yes,
a canvas
yeah, they had like
painting
Snidely
pictures.
They had like Snidely Whiplash conducting some like nefarious mustache twirling evil in the background.
Oh God.
There's HD cameras and there's Polaroids. The Browns had Polaroids.
Yes. So for the most part, that was my weekend. Just watching the Super Bowl, playing 15, and going to a banquet. That was about it.
That's a good weekend. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, it was definitely just the season finale of the NFL. You guys call it the Super Bowl. I call it the season finale, unless the Broncos are in it.
Right.
Because that's just a meh whatever bowl.
Yeah. For me, it's just the season finale.
All right. Well, then moving on to our main headline then, which is remastered games. Since we had that, whatever. What were your 3 remastered games, or I guess 3 games you'd like to see remastered? There, put it that way.
My 3
CJ.
games, and this was
Yeah.
really tough. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, originally coming out for Xbox, the original Xbox.
Right.
Classic Star Wars RPG. The first game that you could, the first big game that you could really like make your choices to define the outcome of the game, whether you were a Sith or a Jedi. Just a really all-around fun game. My next game, my favorite Fallout game, Fallout New Vegas. The atmosphere of Fallout New Vegas was just amazing. And to bring that back as like a remastered on, say, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, especially now that Bethesda's allowing you to do mods in games for your consoles, you could have a lot of fun with a Fallout New Vegas. My third game, originally I was going to say Splinter Cell, but I kind of changed my mind as I'm thinking about it. I want Mega Man Legends to come back.
You want it to come back, or you want a remaster of it?
I want a
remastered.
remastered. Come back.
Or a completely new game set to like Mega Man Legends.
Well, didn't
I
that
could see
whole franchise like die out? Legends?
I
Did
thought
they
there
already
was like
do?
an
No,
issue
they
with
didn't.
Capcom.
Never mind.
there
That was a
just hasn't-
re-release.
Let's
No.
face it, there just hasn't been a Mega Man game in a while.
Well, they have the anniversary, but that's
I
your
know.
traditional Mega Man. But you liked Mega Man Legends a lot, right, CJ?
Yeah, that whole RPG element of like building your own Mega Man, really.
Right.
Customize everything about him. It was just a really fun game to play. So
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to
Instead of
remake
it
of that.
just being a platform.
Yeah, I definitely want a remaster of that come out. But I think there was like an issue with Capcom, and that's why it didn't happen.
Well, now that Monster Hunter's done so well, maybe they'll have extra money for other game projects.
And they'll probably stick with the traditional formula
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Mega Man, since all the new Mega Man stuff that comes out, it's like, hey, here's another remastered Mega Man
Yeah.
of all 11 Mega Man games, and here's the whole X series. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to get the
Yeah,
X
there's nothing
series
wrong with
again.
that.
Mega
Yeah,
Man
yeah.
X4 was one of my favorite games ever.
What was the one that Zero started in? Was it in 3 or 2? Where Zero
I think it was
introduced?
2.
I think it might have been 2, yeah.
All right, well, yeah, I think I remember playing that one religiously when that came out for the Super Nintendo, I think.
Man, Mega Man 2, that was the jam.
Yeah, it was. Everyone remembers
Yeah,
Mega
it's
Man
like-
2.
Okay, cool. Go beat Airman.
Remember
Oh,
Mega Man
shit.
Soccer?
I can't without the Leaf Shield. Okay, well then you just gotta beat Mega Man. Well, I can't beat Mega Man without item number 2 because of the invisible floors.
And you go through that whole
and,
thing.
and
yeah.
it was like the loop of I just have to beat one of these freaking bosses, and then all the other pieces will fall into place.
Right, yeah, and I do remember Mega Man Soccer. I played that game religiously as well, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure Mega Man Soccer came out before Mario Soccer.
I'm pretty
And
sure
it was-
did, too.
and it was almost the exact same formula where everyone has a power-up kick, and if you get in the way of the ball, you get hit with the special.
I think the problem with Mega Man Soccer I think the reason Mega Man Soccer to me was like better than Mario Soccer is because those Mega Man characters, they all made sense to me. Where the Mario characters, outside of Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser, and Princess Peach and Toad, is like, who are all these other people?
They're from previous games from way long ago, or weird spin-off series that didn't really take off.
Yeah, come on, bring in some Wario, and some Waluigi.
Yeah, what was up with Waluigi? Because I think he only showed up just for the party games. Which
Basically.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it was because they were like, oh, some people actually really like Wario. And they were like, well, it makes sense that there's a Waluigi. Not that they like actually put any effort into coming up with a name for Waluigi.
Yeah,
really
I guess
didn't.
so.
They were just like, Wario, how do we make people realize that they're like on the same page? We'll just put Wa in front of Luigi.
That's a little sick.
Lazy ass Nintendo.
Well, my games that I want remastered, or re-release, or remastered.
No, remastered.
Remastered. Number 3 on my list is Legend of Legaia. I loved that game because it is a role-playing game, but they added in some, I guess, fighting game elements. So when you do your move, you have to hit like up, down, left, and you type in the move, and it does something special, and you can power up that move. And you had like a little bar at the bottom of the screen. So when you gained levels, the bar got wider and wider, and you had to type in different move sets to discover different arts. And I remember playing that game religiously. I'm pretty sure I put in over 100 hours in that game because I loved it so much. And getting re-released remaster, I'm going to figure this out by the end of this episode. Getting a remaster of that would be pretty awesome. Number 2 on my list is Bushido Blade.
Oh, yes.
And Bushido, I loved Bushido Blade to death. And the whole concept that you could kill someone in one hit if you swing the sword right or hit a right spot or however that worked, I think that was the closest thing to a real sword fight. There probably is a game there, and I just can't think of it right now. But I know that there hasn't been any game like that. And some people might argue that they're Soul Calibur, but Soul Calibur is more of a fighting game than what Bushido Blade was. Yeah. And they've never tried to... I feel like they've never tried to remake it ever again.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 on my list is another fighting game, which is Rival Schools. And I've always loved Rival Schools. So the fact that I even I played it for the PS2 when the first one came out, and when Project Justice came out, I actually went out and got a Dreamcast. Played the hell out of that game. I loved that game so much. And then it just went away.
Did I ever give that back to you?
What?
I had your Dreamcast and
I have a Dreamcast, so I don't know if that's mine or not.
Because I think it was, and at some point, I think it was when you moved back out here, you gave it to me, and then when I came over last year, I brought it with me or something like that.
Either way, since they didn't do anything after Project Justice, and I remember I was seeing things about how they wanted to come out with another one, but that just kind of fell apart. I don't know if they're still in talks or what's going on with that, but I would really want another Rival School game again.
I would definitely like to see another Rival School game, because all these games I remember you having, and I remember playing them on your consoles. I would say out of your games from my comment earlier on the difference between a remastered and a re-release, graphically, no one wants to see Bushido Blade.
Yes, they do! Yes, they do!
Not as a re-release.
I would play that as a re-release. If that game came out and it's like, this is an old school game, because I don't think you can find that game anywhere else. You'd actually have to.
No,
as a remaster, it's definitely something I would play. As a re-release, where I put it in, it's just a port in, no new graphics or anything, I would not play that game in 2018.
So you'd say, F nostalgia, I'm not playing this game. That's what you'd say.
Yes.
You didn't like the game that much.
Not enough to me to play the same graphics today. If I wanted a remaster, if I had to choose between a remaster and a re-release, I'm going remastered on two out of the 3 of your games. I think Legend of Legaia would be awesome. Remastered. Polished, clean. Think about how nice it would look graphically compared to the games right now that are out.
So we're going to the last part of our show, which is the final thought. or a rant, depending on what's going on. Do you have anything for us today, CJ?
No, not really. It's been a very non-controversial week for me.
Wow, so it's just all nice and calm.
It's calm in Laketoria.
What about you,
Don't
Andy?
expect that on Thursday, folks.
Oh, crap.
Well, I don't have like any final thoughts, but I did see an interesting thing today. The Falcon Heavy did its test launch today.
Okay.
It's going to be the world's most powerful operational rocket by a factor of 2, which is, like, to say, really impressive stuff. The stats on it are that it's going to have the ability to lift into orbit 64 metric tons. That's a Boeing 737 loaded with passengers, luggage, fuel, everything. They can put that in the air now, or in orbit now. It has an operational cost of 1/3 of the former best rocket out there. And so that's what helped put parts of the International Space Station into orbit.
Wait, where was this made now? Was that here?
This is us.
Yeah, it just
And
launched.
so, what's that?
It just launched today, correct?
Yeah, they did the test flight earlier today. The previous rocket previous rockets, the Delta IVs, were what helped get some of the pieces of the International Space Station in orbit. And now we have something that can literally go carry twice as much stuff as those rockets and operate at 1/3 of the cost of one of the old rockets. Sort of a interesting time for space program.
Wait, so are we building another space station? Or we just
No,
we just have the abilities to put crap up there now?
Well, yeah, it's
We're
just
going to
a
give
heightened
rides
ability.
to rich people into space, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's how they die. That's how they die.
Carruthers.
I would if I was that rich, I'd still never. I would never want to go into space ever. That's crazy to me.
Well, you're not rich, so you wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, you're right. Fine. I don't care. Let them take their chances up there. Crazy crap. All right. Well,
Next episode will be broadcast from the moon.
That's right. But no, so the big thing here is that it is going to help restore the possibility of doing flying missions with crews to the moon and Mars and stuff like that, which they're ramping up. I think the current project timeline is a manned Mars mission in 2020. And so rockets like this are actually going to help propel that forward by, leaps and bounds.
Whoa. So wasn't the original idea behind the Mars mission was, hey, if you're going to Mars, you're not coming back? I mean, does this make it so they can actually come back?
I don't know. This was a test fire for this rocket.
Okay, so that's all it was. Just
They
saying
just
it doesn't
wanted
work.
to make sure that it worked. But what was cool was that all of its constituent pieces that were designed to jettison out all landed themselves independently. Just incredible stuff that's coming around.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So,
okay,
big
that's
news
cool
for space travel.
Okay, that's a good thing to end on. I like that. All right, then.
We're being hopeful. We'll be optimistic.
All right.
I will go under the condition that they make me Captain James T. Kirk.
No one's going to make you Captain T. No one would do
Wait,
that.
No.
No one will.
It can't be James T. Kirk. It would have to be... Who could you be?
No one. You would be nobody. You'd just be CJ,
No.
and you'd be saying there, I'm going to be Captain CJ. This is my vessel now. And you look at the guy going, no, I'm Captain
Wait,
now.
are you-
And you look
wait,
at
are
him,
you
and I go,
doing- Hey,
you
I know,
leave
I
Tom
know.
Hanks alone.
I know.
That's exactly how it goes down.
I'm the
Pirates.
captain now.
He's my spaceship now.
Exactly.
He's Captain
Yeah.
Charles Brannigan.
I do that to my friends when I'm playing 2K and stuff.
This is my ship now.
I mean,
All right, we're ending it. We're ending the episode here. Get your catchphrases ready. We're ending it. Anything else? Anything else? No one else?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I was done with my.
Oh, okay.
my
Well, then
space mission.
we'll start off with you with your ending phrase.
President of Mars, 2020.
CJ,
Vice President of Mars 2020.
and this is Kevin saying,
Secretary
Dear
of
IR
State 2020. There you go, Kevin. I got you.
goodbye, people. Goodbye.